Hey guys, we are back for another day of Read Along with Alane. We are reading from The Blue Witch, and today we are going to be reading from chapter 8. But before we get to that, Alane is giving a shout out to all the schools that I visited last month by wearing a t-shirt from them. And this shirt is from Georgetown Elementary in Chesapeake, Virginia. So if you guys are listening out there in Chesapeake, Miss Alane is saying hi to you, all right? So really excited. Hope to see you again sometime, all right? So today we're going to pick up with chapter 8, but where did we leave off in chapter 7? Well, Abigail was in her potions class, and the potion blew up in her face because why? Indira was mean to her, which she always does, so mean, that Indira. So poor Abigail just sort of stomped off covered in goo, right? So we're going to pick up on chapter 8. Abigail swept her mop side to side, cleaning the sticky floor of Madame Radish's classroom. She was going stir-crazy after 3 days of detention, doing endless chores after school and then locked in her room to study alone until supper. "Are you trying to take my job?" The cheerful voice came from a witchling who stood in the doorway. She held a mop in one hand and a bucket in the other. Slender, with pale skin and white eyes, her dark hair was cut in a bob, with bangs across her forehead. "I have detention," Abigail said, pausing her mop. "Is that why you're here?" "Oh no, I work here." The girl set the bucket down and began mopping. Abigail joined in. "I've seen you around. You're a secondling, aren't you?" "Unofficially, yes. My name is Calla." "I'm Abigail." "What do you mean, unofficially?" Abigail leaned on her mop to study the girl. Calla kept mopping. "It means I'm a glitch witch." "Well, then you don't belong here," Abigail blurted out. She flushed, quickly adding, "I'm sorry, that was unkind." Calla shrugged. "It's okay, I'm used to it. Madame Hystera is my great-aunt. She lets me clean her chambers and work around the school. In exchange, I'm allowed to attend classes." "That must be hard," Abigail said, "to be unable to use magic." Calla smiled and her eyes sparkled. "That's okay. My magic will come in someday." Abigail smiled back politely and wrung out her mop. She had never heard of a glitch witch getting her magic. It seemed cruel to let Calla continue to learn spells and potions she would never be able to use. "Would you like to hang out?" Calla asked. "I'm all done with my chores for the day. We could go to the library and read spell books. There's a book on magical mushrooms." She stopped at the look of hesitation on Abigail's face. "It's not that I don't want to. Abigail would love to have a friend inside the fortress walls, but today she had a plan to meet Hugo, detention or not." Calla's sparkle dimmed. "Never mind. I'm sure you have better things to do." She picked up her bucket and marched out of the room. Abigail started to call her back to explain, then stopped when she heard the click-clack of shoes in the corridor, signaling Madame Vex's arrival. She followed Madame Vex up the dormitory stairs, quietly entering her room and waiting for the snick of the lock. As the sound of footsteps faded away, she went to her window and threw it open. Her room was on the back side of the tower, high above the ground. She leaned out, feeling a bit dizzy at the height. Thick strands of ivy wrapped around the building. She tugged on a vine. It was tough, but was it strong enough to hold her? She climbed out on the ledge, gripped a ropey length, then slowly lowered herself from the window. Her feet found toeholds in the leafy vines. She didn't dare look down. By the time the ground came into view, her arms ached. Puffing from exhaustion, she dropped the last few feet and brushed her hands off. Time to find Hugo. She only hoped he hadn't given up on her. Checking the courtyard was clear, she quickly crossed into the gardens. As she hurried down the path, movement caught her eye. There was someone pacing under a mulberry tree, probably a witchling practicing her magic. Abigail turned around to go a different way and then froze. And Dira was coming straight toward her. Oh, that's the end of the chapter. It's a short chapter, but Abigail is in a little bit of a pickle right now. She's snuck out of her room, which you're not supposed to do, right? And she's just determined to go meet Hugo so they can learn more about her blue witch fire, right? And then she's going to the gardens to try to meet him under the tree, and then she almost runs, and Dira's coming right at her, and if she doesn't do something, then she's going to see her. And you know, Dira, she's definitely going to tattle on Abigail if she finds her. What else happened in the chapter? Oh, she met Calla. Calla's what you call a glitch witch. She's a witch that never got her magic. So that's interesting because Calla's not worried. She says, oh, someday I'll get my magic, but Abigail says, I don't think that's really going to happen. So, all right, that was a quick chapter, but it was still a fun chapter. We learned a few new things, and we're going to be on to chapter 9 next, right? Oh, I can't wait. All right, guys, that's it for today. What can you do in the meantime? Go to the link in the description and click on it. You can be doing some of the worksheets and working along with us. You can send them to me, hand them into a teacher, let your parents see what you're doing. But whatever you do, follow along. And in the meantime, I'll be back tomorrow. But in the meantime, you guys can get outside, maybe play a little bit, have some fun, read some books, stay healthy, stay well, and wash your hands a lot, right? And Alane will be back tomorrow, right? See you guys.